What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon. And today we're going to talk about gratitude, but more importantly, we're going to talk about false gratitude. False and fake gratitude, I believe, are destroying your ability to actually achieve what it is that you say you want to achieve. Now, stay with me here because you're probably wondering, Jay, what in the blue hell could false or fake gratitude be? So I thought about this the other day when I was doing my cardio. That's when I get most of my epiphanal moments in life. And it came to me that a lot of people are just going through the motions when it comes to gratitude, because gratitude's such a buzzword right now. Everybody's like, lead with gratitude, namaste, all that kind of jazz. Like, it's really such it's a hot topic. It's books are being written about it. Entire podcasts are being done about it. You can't go on social media without seeing a gratitude post of some sort. And part of my core principles and part of my core values that I teach in my Thrive Forever Fit program is gratitude. And we do lead with gratitude every single day. I encourage my clients to write down 3 things they're thankful and grateful for. And I started thinking about people that do this and aren't really authentically doing it, and how much harm that could be doing to the entire process. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. I don't believe that I participate in false or fake gratitude. What I believe that is when you're just going through the motions. When you say you're grateful for things, but then your actions and behaviors don't coincide with that same thought process of being thankful and grateful for something. Does that make sense? So it's like you say, and this may be a touchy subject for some of you guys, so saddle up, buckle in. Be okay with being challenged a little bit here. Most of you guys will say, well, I'm so thankful and grateful for my kids, and I love little Billy Bob and Thor and Jimmy John. They're so amazing. But then you yell and you scream and you go bananas on Thor, Jimmy John, and Billy Bob, and you really don't show that same level of gratitude and thankfulness to them that you wrote down in your little journal. So why is that? I mean, I'm not saying you're not thankful and grateful for your children, but do your actions, do your behaviors, do your words, do they coincide with that gratitude? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if that behavior is coming out of you, and I'm not saying when they do crazy shit and they need to be yelled at and all that, I mean, knock yourself out. I'm talking about consistently how you're behaving and showing up for that. It's like people say, well, I'm so thankful and grateful for my job because it gives me money and whatever, but yet you call in sick all the time and you half-ass your job when you get there. You spend most of your day on Facebook listening to jokers like me talk about shit that you probably really don't even care about, but you say you care about it, so that's probably fake and false as well. But anyway, I'm digressing. So here's an example of what I believe real gratitude looks like. It's when you write things down or when you declare things and then you actually go through the actions of gratitude. When you go through the actual actions of being thankful and grateful for those various things. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples here. So every morning I have these cards I write on. They're little gratitude cards. If you're listening, I'm holding up a little white card that says gratitude on it. And in my kitchen, I have a gratitude jar and it's filled with, I do one of these at least every day. Sometimes I do more than one. But this one I just pulled out randomly, and it says, thank you for the ability and the opportunity to influence and impact other people's lives with abundance and positive action. Now, that sounds like a very broad statement to you, but to me, it's exactly my intention for the day. I think gratitude and intention are kind of like simultaneous. I think they have to go together, because if they don't, then you're not going to have the same ability to impact that you would, the same ability to show gratitude. Because let's be honest, if you're not showing gratitude, what's the point of the gratitude? That's when it becomes false, or that's when it becomes just going through the motions. That's when it becomes non-authentic. And anything that you're doing inauthentically doesn't have power or value, but actually has negative value or negative power or destructive momentum. So if you start to think about your gratitude a little differently, when I write that statement down, it leads me into my day with an intention of when I walk into a room, I'm responsible for the energy that I bring into that room. And my goal is to influence and impact others with abundance and positive actions. I mean, holy shit, that's pretty specific. That means when I'm in a room with somebody that I've got to be thinking from a different perspective than if I just go in blind. It gives me a lighthouse. It gives me a frame of reference to know how it is that I expect myself to show up that day. So if I write down here, I'm so thankful and grateful for Lori. Well, that's an obvious, that's a given. I'm exuding gratitude and thankfulness for Lori. But then if I treat her like crap, what's the real value of writing her name down on a card? There is none. That makes sense? So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that gratitude without intentional mindful action to show and express that gratitude is really counterintuitive and actually destructive, because it makes you almost disengaged with that which you say you have gratitude for, meaning it doesn't have value. And if you don't value something enough to show it the attention that you can write down on a piece of paper or write down on a card, then it becomes false and or fake. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, like, how can you challenge what I'm saying that I'm thankful and grateful for? I'm not challenging what it is that you say you're thankful and grateful for. What I'm challenging is your behaviors associated with that gratitude. So if you're not exuding the behaviors that you write down, if you're not showing the gratitude to the things that you write down on your page or in your journal, however you do your gratitude, then isn't it false? Isn't it fake? Isn't it phony? Isn't it counterintuitive? Because it kind of makes you even like, well, yeah, I wrote it down. That should be good enough. But is that really good enough? Is that drawing you closer to the thing that you feel gratitude for? See, because this is the way life works, that the things that we're thankful and grateful for, we should be drawn to. Like, we should be so powerfully, instinctively, and energetically connected to that thing that there should be no way it could be false and or fake. But if I just write some shit down, meaning if I write down, thank you for the opportunity and the ability to influence and impact others' lives in an abundant and positive way, and I walk into a room and I'm an asshole, and I walk into a room and I bring negativity, if I treat people like crap, then this is a false gratitude. I'm really not thankful for that opportunity because I'm not taking advantage of it, right? If you don't take advantage of things, can you really be thankful for them? If you don't show the abundance and you show the positivity and show the love, can you really say that you love something? So it's like saying you love somebody, but then you treat that person like shit. That doesn't make any sense. But we do it on a daily basis. We take for granted that which is closest to us, but yet we say we're grateful for that which is closest to us that we love. Think about it from that perspective. What if you shifted that perspective? What if you just took that simple shift? And that's really the whole purpose of this podcast. My goal, my mission, my desire is to disrupt the way you think, inspire you to think differently, and give you some tools and some strategies to transform into a different way, into a different thought process, into a different behavioral pattern. And in today's podcast, my goal is to get you to start to take your gratitude seriously. Not even necessarily take it seriously, but start to take positive actions, intentional actions in the direction of your gratitude. If you say you're thankful and grateful for something, show that person, place, or thing the intentional effort and positive gratitude and thankfulness that you declared in your journal or on your white card or in your gratitude jar. Show it that same level that you wrote down. Make sense? If you say you're so thankful and grateful for your husband or wife or your kids, show your husband, your wife, or your kids your gratitude. Don't just think writing it down is good enough, because it won't be. Then it becomes false or fake. And then it becomes, the more times you do that, the more times you write down something and then you don't perpetuate the action associated with the gratitude that you're really writing down, if you don't have the action toward that thing, person, place, or thing, then it becomes easier every single time to just write some bullshit down and not have positive intentional action toward that thing that you're quote unquote grateful for. So let's take gratitude to a different level as we move into 2020, perfect vision, right? 2020. As we move into 2020, let's create perfect vision through intentional, mindful, positive actions around the gratitude that we say we have. because words are hollow without action behind them, correct? So what I want us to do, I'm included, I'm in the game, I'm in the fight with you, is I want us to be massively intentional with our gratitude. And then when we take the time to write something down that we're thankful and grateful for, I want us to take massive action in showing that person, place, or thing that gratitude level that we say we have for them on the card that we wrote down. Makes sense? All right, guys, love you. I hope that resonated with you. Something I felt like I'm just seeing a little bit too much of is just going through the motions of gratitude and not really living it. Imagine what will happen if we start living the gratitude that we say we have. Holy shit, right? Pretty powerful stuff. 2020 could really be that year everybody's talking about. Perfect vision, right? Amazingness, unbelievable abundance, opportunity. But it won't be if we don't start to behave a little bit differently, if we don't get a little bit more intentional with the actions that we have associated with the words that we write down. You guys know me. You know I believe that words and thoughts and actions and behaviors, that's the conduit to the construction of being that person that we need to be to get to the next level of life, which is where we all deserve to want to go. Health and fitness, spirituality, relationships, money. Like, we've got to do these things. And it really starts with simplistic actions of something as simple as gratitude. But only if you really embrace it, only if you really get into it, only if you really wholeheartedly go after it. If you're participating and perpetuating false or fake gratitude, you won't get what you want to get because you won't even believe that you deserve it. So start showing the person, place, or thing that you write down that you're grateful for unbelievable thankfulness and gratefulness for being in your life, being a part of your journey, and you'll get what it is that you desire from that person, place, or thing. And you'll also set yourself up for abundance. So I believe in abundance, guys. I believe in happiness and health and wealth for everybody. And I want you to get that. And so I hope this podcast episode helps you transition a little bit toward the end of 2019. And as we roll into 2020, you roll in there with massive action, massive gratitude, massive thankfulness, intentional, mindful behavioral patterns that can take you everywhere you want to go. All right. Love you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.